Okay, cool. Just thought I'd take you for a little walk through some of these drums that we've sampled last week. Um, so the kit itself was a Yamaha Beach Custom kit, and then we sampled a Brady Wandu Block, I believe it's called. It's a 14 by 6.5. And then my Bell Brass, which I've actually had a sample on here before, but it was sounding so good in that position, I actually redid it. Each of these, if I just take you through the trigger instrument thing quickly. So each of these, if we look in the browser, so let's look at the Brady. So I've supplied close mics. So in the Brady, we've got a top and bottom mic. We've got overheads, which are RN17s. We've got a slam mic, which is a Coles 4038 behind the kit. And then that's going through an old Shure summing mixer, which has a limiter on it, which kind of sounds pretty mad when you push into it. So I've actually included that. Then we've got close room mics, far room mics, and medium room mics. So the close room is an AEA R88. The medium room is 2 Warm Audio. It's their U87 copy mics, and they're actually behind baffles. And then they are actually also going into distressors as well. Not doing much, but just taking off a little bit. And then finally, the far room mics are a pair of Neumann U89s. And they're actually in, we all call it the chamber, but it's actually just the kitchen of the ranch. But they sound brilliant. I absolutely love those mics. Really, really good for adding a bit of length to your snare drums and toms and stuff. So sweet. So what I've done here is I set up this session quickly. So it's basically this is a band that I worked with a year or so ago called Renounced. I've just opened their session just because the drummer had more than 2 toms. I just wanted to show you more than 2 toms. What I've done here is I've actually replaced everything that's real other than the overheads. So the only thing you're hearing that's real on the kit now is the overheads, and then the rest of it I've just replaced with my samples that I've made. So you can see here actually what I've done is I've put a close mic kit, room mic for each one basically. So we've got a close kick, room kick, snare, close, snare, room, and so on and so forth for all of those. Let's just have a quick listen to how the drums sound on their own quickly. And this is just with no processing. It's just like a bit of level balancing and some panning and stuff like that. So let's just have a listen to how they sound now quickly. So yeah, as you can hear already, I think they sound pretty cool straight off the bat. When I was recording these, I didn't actually want to go mad with processing. I find the way I work best actually is to have kind of the raw sounds as raw as possible, and then I can blend them and mold them a little bit easier into whatever I'm mixing. So with that in mind, I'm just going to show you like a really, really quick way that you can just get them sort of drum like mix ready. And I'm just going to use the Logic kind of stock plugins, so you can do this at home. All right, so let's start with the kick drum. So the kick, let me play it on its own. So sweet. So the kick mics are actually a blend of a Beta 91A and a D6, and they're summed together. And then that's also included with a Yamaha sub-kick mic as well. So as you can hear, it sounds cool already. All I've done here in this EQ bit is just get rid of some of the lower mids a little bit, add a little bit more attack, just because of the type of music that we're recording. If you've heard Renounced before, it's a lot of double kick. that stuff has to cut through walls of guitars. So generally you would want a bit more attack to everything. So yeah, so all I've done here is just gotten rid of some of this, gotten rid of some of this mud below here, and check it out. Sweet, so it's not changed it very much, just, you know, made it a bit more focused. And then after that, I've just followed it with a bit of compression. Just use this Studio VCA one. Sweet, which is just adding kind of a bit more attack, a bit more sustain to everything, and just evening out some of the hits a little bit more. All right, cool. Same with the snare drum. So if I just play the snare quickly. Cool. So that actually sounds pretty cool, I think, on its own. What I've done here is just added a kind of healthy amount of around 10k. You can see here I've done a 7 dB boost up here. Anyone that mixes rock knows that, you know, you will kind of want a big crack out of a snare drum. So yeah, I've done that, and then just added a little bit more of the fundamental of the note, around 220, just to add a bit more body to everything. And then below that, just got rid of some of this kind of lower mud that no one really cares about. That yeah, you'd never hear in a mix anyway, that kind of stuff under there. And then I followed that with this kind of, I guess this is a copy of like a DBX 160 or something. But yeah, let's check it out. Sweet. So same again on the toms. Toms are kind of similar to kick drums in a lot of ways, a bit more mid present. In this again, I've just a healthy amount of top end, just so it cuts through all the guitars. A little bit less mid range, and then filtering out some of this very low stuff that's not really needed. And then finally, just again this DBX style compressor. Cool. All right, sweet. So that's all the close mics. Then on the room, I've not touched the room that much. I've just kind of done blends in these to whichever ones I thought were cool. I think it's mainly the slam mic, close mic, and the far room. And then these are all bussed to this. I've gotten rid of some of this lower stuff under here that, you know, again, this is only going to muddy stuff up in a mix. You just want to try and get rid of that stuff. And then finally, just a bit of compression just to add a bit of length. This is, I guess, supposed to be like an 1176 kind of thing. And it sounds pretty cool, I thought. So yeah, here it is without. And with. Cool. So yeah, if we now listen to all of that together, it sounds something like this. Sweet. Okay, finally I'm just going to show you one more thing that I tend to do quite a lot in mixing. We're just going to add this kind of parallel compressed drum bus. So what I've done here is I've bussed all the kind of channels to their own buses over here, and then I've sent these buses to this kit bus here, and then this kit smash bus here. So they're receiving both the same signal. It's just that this one's going to be, you know, completely dry, and this one's going to be quite compressed. So for this, I've actually used this compressor, which is it's supposed to be like an SSL style like bus compressor. I tend to gravitate towards this stuff on drums just because it sounds punchier to me. So let's check it out on its own. Cool. So you can hear on its own that kind of sounds quite mad, but in the context of the dry kit, it can add some real life and real energy to stuff. It's the kind of thing that you'll find you know, you can get a great drum sound on its own, but as soon as you start blending it with bass, walls of guitars, you're going to miss some of those nuances a little bit. So I'm just going to play the dry kit, and then I'm just going to blend this one in just so you can hear how it sounds. Okay, cool. So yeah, there you have it. Hope you enjoy the samples. Give me any feedback. Cheers.